Hey guys, so I don't have a brand new podcast episode for you this week, but please stick with me because I do have something for you. We have been crazy busy, especially this week, mostly because my family apparently looked at dentistry and a ceramic shop and 5 kids and just our regular day-to-day life and thought, you know what would really calm things down? Opening an adventure park. So this past weekend, we officially opened High Five, our brand new adventure park here in Ulysses, Kansas, and it was a little bit crazy, but it has been so much fun. And for those of you who aren't familiar with where we live in a little small town in southwest Kansas called Ulysses, right by the Oklahoma Panhandle. And when my husband first started as an associate here, we fell in love with living here. And, we bought our practice and we're always looking for ways to create something valuable for our community, even when it has absolutely nothing to do with dentistry. So we already have our ceramic shop here, Fired on Main, and now we've added High Five. And I think it's safe to say that we're serial entrepreneurs at heart, especially my husband. And sometimes it's exciting and creative, and sometimes it means we're looking around on a Sunday night and wondering whose idea all of this was. And unfortunately, usually it was our idea. So, because opening weekend was so full, instead of trying to quickly throw together a regular podcast episode, I wanted to give you a little peek inside the Dental Wife Crash Course. So, I'm going to share one of our actual lessons from the course here. This one is about entitlement culture and the way that bonuses, rewards, and expectations can slowly affect the culture of a dental practice. So, if you're watching this episode on YouTube, you'll also be able to see the video format that all of the course lessons follow. The videos are intentionally short and easy to work into your real life. And you can watch one while you're getting ready, folding laundry, working at your desk, or sitting in the school pickup line. So before we get into the lesson, though, I did want to talk about why this topic matters so much. Entitlement culture feels really icky when it starts showing up in a dental practice, and honestly, it can feel icky for everybody, not just the owners. Of course, people deserve to be recognized and rewarded for their hard work. Working in a dental practice is hard. It's physically demanding, patients can be stressed, schedules change, there's call outs, insurance is insurance, and some days everybody is doing their best just to keep the entire thing moving in the general direction. At the same time, hard work is also part of the job. Employees should already be compensated fairly for the hard work that they were hired to do. A bonus or a party or a gift or any other kind of reward is meant to be something additional. It's appreciation for exceptional effort, a shared accomplishment, or a goal the team reached together. So the question is, how do we keep that appreciation from slowly turning into expectation? Several months ago, I saw a post in a Facebook group for dental office managers, and the office manager said that the doctor had hosted a Christmas party for the team, given everyone generous bonuses, and also given them Christmas gifts. And after all that, no one even thanked the doctor, and no one acknowledged him with the card or a small gift, and the office manager felt horrible about it. Now, I don't know everything happening inside that practice, and I do not think the takeaway should be that employees are required to buy their boss a Christmas present. I promise. That's not the point. The part that stood out to me was how quickly something generous can begin to feel like routine. When people come to expect a bonus, a party, a gift, or a raise, they may stop experiencing it as appreciation and it just becomes what happens every year. Then, if the reward changes or doesn't happen, it can feel like something was taken away. And that's where resentment starts building on both sides. The owner may feel unappreciated after trying to do something generous, but then the team may feel frustrated because they've mentally counted on something that was never guaranteed. High performers may start wondering why they're receiving the same reward as someone who regularly misses expectations. And nobody necessarily sat down and decided to create an unhealthy culture. It usually just develops quietly. So, how do we protect the practice from adopting a negative culture around performance, production, bonuses, and pay? And that's what this lesson is about. Entitlement culture is something that can quietly creep into many practices over time. This happens when bonuses, perks, or raises slowly start to feel like guarantees instead of rewards. At first, a bonus system might feel exciting. The team feels appreciated, the practice hits goals, everyone celebrates together. If bonuses become expected no matter what the performance looks like, the culture can change for the worse. Instead of feeling like recognition, the bonus starts to feel like part of the paycheck. That's when the problems can start, and that's why so many practice owners are nervous to implement a bonus system. One way to avoid entitlement culture is to keep bonus systems and pay tiers tied clearly to performance and goals. When the goal is reached, the reward happens. When the goal isn't reached, the bonus simply doesn't happen. The clear line in the sand helps maintain fairness and transparency and gets your team excited about contributing to production or whatever goal you've decided to pair with a bonus. Another important piece is accountability. A part of protecting a healthy team culture is making sure that standards are upheld consistently. That means if expectations around professionalism and performance aren't met, the bonus is no longer available for that period. This is not a punishment because it's not something they are owed that's taken away. It's a reward that they didn't earn this time around. Everyone needs to earn this extra money and contribute to the team's success. It is not guaranteed. In addition to this, when high performers see low performance being rewarded the same way, it creates frustration and even resentment within the team. In our office, our employees become ineligible for the bonus if they're late more than twice or if they get written up. They only get half the bonus for being late once. They are also ineligible for the bonus if they miss more than one day outside of their allotted PTO. This helps maintain the sense that they worked for their money and prevents resentment because they know exactly how to earn their bonus. Everyone knows how their role affects everyone around them. So although some roles don't directly produce, our team understands that everyone doing their job well sets up all of their team members for success. Clear expectations and clear follow-through protect your culture and keep things fair for everyone. So another important piece of this is communication. We talked about this earlier in the course when we talked about building trust and not reacting emotionally. When people know what consequences to expect for their actions, and it's the same every time, these consequences feel fair instead of targeted. It also helps when leadership regularly talks about how the business is performing and how bonuses are connected to the health of the practice. This keeps the team focused on shared goals rather than assumptions, and it also gets your team to buy in. They get excited about these benchmarks. It's also helpful to remember that not all motivation is monetary. While bonuses are powerful and appreciated, they aren't the only way to recognize and reward your team. When everything is tied only to money, it can start to feel expected instead of earned, since your team may start getting used to seeing it on their paycheck. But some team members are highly motivated by and may even feel more recognized when they receive experiences, recognition, and growth opportunities instead of cash. Some ideas for recognition bonuses are sending high performers to continuing education, celebrating wins with team outings or trips, giving spontaneous rewards for things like great patient experience, positivity, or consistency, and creating fun in-office incentives tied to behaviors you want to reinforce. Here's a few challenges we've done over the years with fun rewards. We did our Invisalign yearly challenge that was tied to an office trip to Chicago. We had custom Nikes, matching shoes, matching pink scrubs for Wednesdays because we wear black scrubs normally, cute sweatshirts with our logo to wear at work, new Fig brand scrubs instead of our usual Amazon ones, and personalized Stanley cups. These kind of rewards build culture in a different way, so if monetary bonuses aren't doing wonders for your team culture, I'd give something like these a try. Great teams deserve to be rewarded. They do. The important thing to remember is to keep rewards connected to performance, teamwork, and growth so that appreciation never turns into entitlement. That way your bonuses strengthen your culture instead of weakening it. Okay, so one thing I would add after watching that lesson is that preventing entitlement culture does not mean becoming less generous. Sometimes practice owners hear a conversation like this and think the safest answer is to stop offering bonuses, celebrations, or fun rewards altogether. But I don't think generosity is the problem. Unclear expectations are usually the problem. You can be generous and you can still have boundaries. You can celebrate your team while being very clear what the celebration represents, and you can offer a bonus while explaining exactly how it was earned. You can recognize someone's contribution without creating a permanent promise that every reward will happen forever. That clarity protects the team, too. People shouldn't have to guess whether a bonus depends on performance, whether attendance affects eligibility, or whether the goal changed halfway through the month. When the system is written down and applied consistently, it feels much less personal. It also helps to remember that culture is built in ordinary moments long before there's a major problem. It's built through what leadership communicates, what behavior gets rewarded, what gets ignored, and whether expectations actually mean something when they're tested. Culture is arguably one of the most important things that you can invest in inside of your practice. A talented team can still struggle inside an unhealthy culture, while a team with clear systems, shared expectations, and room to grow can become incredibly strong. And that's why it's so important to create the systems, expectations, and roadmaps that protect your culture before you desperately need them. So, this is just one of the lessons inside of the Dental Wife Crash Course. I am so excited about this course, you guys. The full course covers the areas I wish I'd understood better when we stepped into practice ownership, and those include financial literacy, roles and boundaries, HR basics, technology and systems, compensation, leadership, and work-life integration. You can learn more and check out the full course at dentalscalingsolutions.com. And of course, if you ever find yourself in our little corner of Kansas in Ulysses, please come see us. You can paint ceramics at Fired on Main, and you can visit us at High Five Adventure Park. By the way, this is not just for kids. So if you're a grown-up and you want to throw yourself down a slide, please come see us and experience the very specific kind of family outing created by people who apparently have a difficult time leaving well enough alone. So thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you for spending this time with us on Dental Wife Life. If today's episode encouraged you, challenged you, or made you feel a little less alone, share it with another dental wife who needs it. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and connect with us on social media so that we can keep the conversation going. You can find us on Instagram at The Dental Wife Life. Remember, your role matters, your voice matters, and you don't have to navigate this journey alone. We'll see you next time.